Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Let's Get the Skinny. It's been a while since I recorded one of these, but I have had one of my favorite clients ever, Elisa, join in my last 10-10 cohort, which just wrapped up. And Elisa has just been such a treat to have in this last group program. I actually followed her before she even joined. She posts a lot of wonderful content on hair health, which is what I am all about. I'm in my hair health era, and I will let Elisa talk a little bit more about what she does on that end. But if you don't already follow her, Elisa Kalela, I will be putting her links in the show notes. So I was a fan of her, and then I guess she was a fan of me. Anyways, we've come together. Now we're going to be chatting because Elisa has been such a success story of 10-10. It's really, we're 10 weeks in now. But I wanted to learn a little bit more about Elisa's history with food. I know that she was a nutritionist, and I thought it would be beneficial as well because Elisa is someone who's had such wonderful success whilst also being a mom, running a business. And, I get a lot of sometimes hateful comments around my method as it relates to like, oh, well, that's nice. But, some of us have lives. Well, I believe that Elisa has probably 7 lives and she's not a cat. But somehow it still works. So anyways, before I just make this a podcast of my own TED Talk, hello, Elisa. Thank you for being here.
Hello. That was such a lovely intro.
Thank you. I'm a huge fan.
As am I. I think you really nailed it. I think like we kind of, it wasn't serendipity. There was a mutual friend that brought us together. But there's just like, when something works, when you click with someone and when you're picking up what they're putting down, like I call you my angel puff now.
There's a definite romance going on between us. I've done your course, you've done mine. Apparently we sound alike. So I'm obsessed with you probably because I'm also obsessed with myself. Now I wanted to start at the beginning. And the first question that I want to ask of you is, did you ever have a normal relationship to food? I want to start there, not just in the pain, but obviously you've had your journey with food and we're going to get into all of that. But, when you were a kid or, before/after, was there ever a time in your life when food was, normal, peaceful, and you felt at ease in your body?
Not that I could remember. I'm sure there was. I think we were all born normal and with normal eating habits and wantings, but no, not that I can remember because at such a young age, I was thrusted into a diet. I was, and we can look back and look at mom and say, she shouldn't have done that. And she did that with as much love. She did that because she cared and that was the best she could do with what she knew. And so, when my stretch marks were showing at a very young age, when, certain clothes weren't fitting me at a young age, that was when I slowly started to realize and, just the habits are in my family that were just, I don't know, there was a lot of shame around eating a lot, yet there was a lot of shame around like not finishing your plate. Like it's a very European, and I think a lot of people can attest to this, but it was, offensive if you didn't finish the food on your plate. But then at the same time, if you're a big girl and, we have to watch what you're eating. So at a very young age, I was put on a diet, and that's, the earliest I could remember that. I don't think I ever remember having a normal eating food. Yeah.
Wow. It's so interesting. I love that word offensive because it's so true in a lot of these European cultures. I know it's the same in Greek culture. It's offensive to not eat a lot, and it's offensive to be overweight. I'm like, guys, some things, it's just not adding up, right? So how old were you when you were, or around, if you remember, when you realized like, oh, my body is a problem?
between 8 and 10 years old. I want to say probably about 8 years old is when it kind of
Mm-hmm.
started. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what did childhood eating look like for you? What was there a okay, I'm going to restrict. Was it immediate rebellion? Because I'm assuming that there was eventually rebellion came into play, because I hear that a lot with my clients that were somehow deprived in their childhood of either types of foods or amounts of foods, and so there was a lot of sort of sneaking in food behind their parents or guardians' back. What did it look like for you?
I remember seeing my grandfather eating in privacy, in secret, and he was in a jar of Nutella, and
Mhm.
that became a very apparent pattern for myself that I would
Mhm.
eat in in secret. So
Mhm.
I don't know if it, I guess, yeah, you could say it was rebellion. It was more like, yeah, I guess it was rebellion, like that. But to me, in the moment, and even now, I'm like, no, I don't think I was rebelling. I just wanted to have what I wanted to have. I wanted to
Yeah.
have it, and I needed to have it where I didn't feel shame, so that
Mhm.
like I had to do it in privacy.
Yeah.
So, and that followed me into my adulthood, and
Mhm.
not only around food. Like, I know we'll get into this probably later, but this program is, as you know, I'm sure, so much more than food. This
Mm.
is how we move through our life.
Yeah.
This is how we feel shame around things that bring us pleasure in
Mhm.
every element of our life.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's like, how did I not realize this? And even raising two little girls, I'm seeing patterns, and my eldest is 8. So I'm like, wow, I'm
Mhm.
almost like reliving, those years through her eyes. And it's almost like, wow, just these small little tweaks in the
Yeah.
message that comes from your parent, these small little tweaks that just come from someone that you look up to, can
Yeah.
change the trajectory of how you think. It's
Right?
really
Because
wild.
yeah, you don't realize it until you're on the other side of it. At least I didn't. And because you're so right, it bleeds into other areas of pleasure, right? It's like, oh, I need to rest, or just feeling good. It somehow gets all jumbled up with, as you said it, shame, guilt, I'm wrong, I'm bad. But anyways, we will definitely get into that. Getting back to, okay, so childhood, you're sneaking food, you're sneaking the Nutella. Give us a little bit of the sort of the timeline, the trajectory of food, weight, because I know that probably that sort of led you into nutritional studies. I'm assuming that there was a connect there.
Yeah, so all throughout elementary school, definitely got bigger with age, bullied all throughout elementary, got into high school, and became this very rigid person. Very, like, I put up an armor
Hmm.
that I wouldn't allow anyone to bully me. So I just became very masculine in my energy, which I think has helped me in some ways, right? I'm a great businesswoman, and all of that great stuff, but I wasn't able to soften myself. So as I moved through high school, I weaved in and out of exercise and over exercising and restriction and caloric restriction and these crazy diets and the cabbage soup diet, and getting a liter of pop. I remember buying a liter of pop and dumping the pop, or sorry, the 1 liter, the big guys of
Yeah,
pop,
yeah.
dump the pop, and I would fill it with water. Like, this is how I can ensure I'm drinking 2 liters of water, because that's gonna surely take all the weight off. And so then, yeah, just like over exercising. And then um through my young adulthood was when my mom got diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. And she decided to take a very interesting path, a very unconventional path to her healing, more through, using a naturopath. And at the time, it was very unconventional for us,
Yeah.
anyways. I know that it's a lot more common now. In any case, I was really inspired by the healing that she and the success that she had with everything. And at the time, I was still working as a hairstylist. So I was quite unhappy working in a conventional hair salon. I was getting a lot of migraines, just a lot of health stuff was happening with myself as well. So I decided to change my career and drop the scissors completely. And I left the hair world behind, and I enrolled myself at the Institute of Holistic Nutrition. And, it's interesting because I really was interested in nutrition, but I remember so vividly walking into the secretary's office, the admin office, and I sat down with her and I said, "Can I ask you a question? How much of this program is about weight loss?"
I'm
Wow.
sure they get that all the time, though.
No,
No?
no, no. She looked
No
at
one has the balls to ask.
maybe, but she looked at me kind of strangely and she's like, "Well, like," and it's so full circle because when you talk about how do naturally thin women move through the world, right? I
Yeah.
was speaking to a naturally thin woman. At the time, I didn't
Mm,
realize this. Now I realize this.
yeah.
But she looked at me and she kind of like cocked her head to the side and she goes, "Well, what do you mean by that?" And I said, "Well, a lot of women struggle with their weight, and it's kind of what I want to specialize in when I get into nutrition. I know there's all the health stuff. That's
Yeah.
all, whatever.
Yeah.
But people want to be thin. Like what does this program have to offer for that?" And she was like, "Well, when you do all the health stuff, like kind of like, she kind of mocked me in a way. She's like, the default is that you lose weight." And she was
Yeah.
like, that's I guess how the weight loss is and I was not happy with her answer. I was like, wait a minute, you don't have a shortcut here? Like what? Like, so it was I very much, although I loved the idea of holistic nutrition, I was there for a very
Mhm.
particular reason. And it was to heal my own weight loss
Mhm.
and help others.
Mhm.
7 years of practicing. I worked at a very amazing health food store, which I still love to this day. Um, all of that still didn't do what your program. No, I graduated in 2015. Like, yeah, 7, 8 years. I don't know.
Don't
It's
make me
been,
do the math on the spot. Yeah.
it's a long time of healing. Yeah, it's over a decade. Like, this is crazy that I'm even like saying this out loud to myself. I'm realizing that I I hate to say the word wasted, but I wasted so much time
Mm.
skirting around what needed to be done.
Yeah.
And it was to realize that the patterns and the habits, that if you keep on just weighing your food, Elisa,
Mhm.
that's not going to get you the results. They'll be very temporary results.
Yep.
I have lost weight. I don't want to shame, any other health coach or anything that I've hired in the past, but it was a very temporary, very surface, very yeah, very temporary
Mhm.
solution. I
Yeah.
use that word very lightly,
Yeah.
solution, because it
And
wasn't.
and also probably not enjoyable. I mean, how has your process been in, your 10 weeks, a little over 10 weeks out now? I know that maybe you started a little bit before we officially started as a group, but how has your experience in 1010 been the same and or different than what you sort of tried as actually an expert in nutrition, which I actually believe most of the time it sets people back, but to know too much, right? We know enough about nutrition. It's for most of us, it's not that, oh, I really just don't know enough. It's like, no, 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 you know too much. And so for me, I'm always cautious. I'm like, oh God, that might actually F you up more. But yeah, how has, because you said that there were some temporary kind of, band-aids that assisted in temporary weight loss. I'm curious as to those experiences in losing the weight, because I know for me, when I would lose weight in various methods, it would be amazing at the beginning, but then slowly but surely other side effects would come up, or it was just, mentally really, gruesome. How was it for you versus in 1010?
Well, first, I also actually want to make a comment and piggyback on what you had said about when you know too much. that is something that I speak to. I'm still, in touch with a lot of the students that went to school with me, and the school did their job. There's no shade to the school.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they're there for. And I've learned great things about supplements and vitamins. Like I'm very, very happy that I did the program. However, to your point, when you know too much, it really barricades you because, and I've said it multiple times even to you, that your program really challenged me, and it challenged my beliefs around um, certain times of eating and protein and like all of these kind of things that we're bombarded with right now.
Mhm.
So I feel like there is an element of knowing too much. So I agree with you there. In terms of how different, if like black, white, like I don't know, how different are those shades? I mean, so I will say that my husband is a chef and he cooks delicious food. I am definitely biased. However, this man has been with me through everything, big, small, big again, small, pregnancies, postpartum, all of it. He has seen me at every shape and size. And he made a couple of comments during this process and he said, "You're not hangry anymore." I said, "Yeah, because it's fake." Like, I'm like, "Hanger is fake. Like, it's not real." So I'm not weighing my food, which was something that I always felt when I would do another program. I always would say to him, "This is completely unnatural.
Yeah.
I do not feel that a human should be weighing their food." And he would agree. He's like, "Babe, anytime if you want to do something, you want me to meal prep for you, you want me to do." I mean, I know there's so many women out there that say this, "Oh, if I had a chef as a husband, I would be able to do X, Y, and Z, and he would make me all my meals." And I'm like, "Hi, I'm here." That's not the problem. Food is
Mm.
not the problem. We have an abundance of food. We live in a place that food is readily available for us at all times. 24/7, we can have it delivered to us. We can have it Instacart, blah, Uber, all of these things. Food is not the issue. Like, this is what I mean. Like, we are skirting. We are trying to figure it out. We're trying to go around and around and around. And it's like we're trying to avoid the very center of what
Mhm.
has brought us here.
Mhm.
And that's what your program, eh, it's so different because when you're approaching, okay, so it's calories in, calories out, right? That's the
It is
math.
what it is.
It is what, and I hate that saying, like it is what it is, but it is what it is. And so when you're approaching it from that restrictive mindset,
Mm.
it feels so ick.
Mhm.
It doesn't resonate with me.
Mhm.
There are people out there that say, "Nope, I need a protocol, I need a plan, I need somebody to tell me what I'm eating." And I'm just like, but you don't. You
Mhm.
don't actually, because you were not born any different than me. You're not
Mhm.
any more special than me. You're not any more broken than me. You're not any more healed than me. You're just another human. You were born with this innate, beautiful, receptive personality that knows what it wants. We have hindered that.
Yeah.
So, no, you don't need someone to tell you that you need to eat X, Y, and Z at a certain time. I used to believe that too. I really
Yeah.
did. So when you approach, because your program approaches it, I want to say almost from the back end, like
Mhm.
real, like the server, you get
Yeah.
right into like right into the nitty gritty of it.
Yeah.
It just feels so, so what's the opposite of restrictive? It feels so
Abundant.
abundant.
Free. I don't know. All these words are overused, right? But
Oh,
I get what you're grasping at because I felt it too. I was like, oh my God, this feels so good. I'm like happy, but not in a weird, effed up, anxious way. I'm just at peace. And there's really nothing better than the joy of choice. That's what I'm really learning, and when I go down more of the science rabbit hole, it's choice. Choice heals the brain. And as you were saying, that like, well, if someone is telling me what to eat, it feels ick because it's prison, right? And even if you don't have a trainer, but you're online and you're like, oh, I should eat that. Oh, Sandy's eating like that. You're still living in a sense of deprivation because you're seeing the world from this lens of I'm bad and I need to, really try hard and I need to try harder. And it's like, no, it's literally the opposite. And I'm curious for you, was there a particular breakthrough as it relates to like a particular belief that you recognized that you were carrying that you really needed to let go? Or was there, just did you can you highlight any particular moments, either beliefs that needed to be turned around or habits that you felt like, oh, wow, I really didn't realize that this was the whole problem?
So, I mean, anybody that I talk to, I just say like, go consume all of Kiki's like videos on
Stop
Instagram.
consuming all of that food and start
Yeah.
consuming.
Just really, that's what I keep saying. I'm like, just go, because that's what I did. I like binge watched all of your, and it just felt like you were just talking to my brain. But there was this one in particular about feeding your greed,
Mm,
and you had some videos on that. And the way I interpreted it was that I noticed that if something is, let's say, 0 calories, or like you can unlimited, like you can unlimitedly eat something, like for instance green beans. I love green beans. I love green beans, French beans, the little thin ones. So
so
delicious.
good.
If somebody tells me, Elisa, you can eat a bucket of green beans and you will never gain weight, the old me, would take a bucket of green beans and just mash them into my face because I love green beans, in hopes that I feel so full that I won't desire anything else. And so when you said that you feed your greed, it's almost like, A, is I know you love green beans, but did you want the green beans to begin with?
Mhm.
B, are you just going to end up eating what you wanted anyways
Yeah.
in abundance because you deserve it? So, like, I think to answer your question, it was more around the patterns that I was, allowing myself this, like, I almost felt like I'm I'm making myself into a monster around food.
Mhm.
Like I need to be chained up. Like I'm not okay around food. I need to be controlled. I need to be, and I think you also had a video on this, like kind of like you're monstrous around food. Like what do you mean? And I've spoken to many women, as you know, like I'm a hairstylist. I speak to clients daily, and these, oh, eat what I want? Are you kidding? I would be a whale. I'm like, no, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. And the fact that you already have that mindset is what's keeping you in this cycle,
Totally.
because you're not a monster.
Yeah.
You're not. Again, I go back. You were not born any more special than me, and you were not born any more broken or unhealed as me. We're the same.
Yeah.
God created us so perfectly, so perfectly. In fact, we don't need to, again, using some of your Instagram videos, we are trying to outsmart something, this machine that is so perfect, that loves us so much. Don't let me get emotional here. How dare us
I know.
override
I
these
know.
these emotions? So yeah, I think it was like this click in, like, I'm not a monster. That was
Mhm.
like something that really clicked. I'm not a monster. I just want what I want. And
Yeah, you
that's
want you want pleasure, you wanna feel good, and getting back to what we were talking about right at the beginning, right? But somewhere along the way, you learned that, oh, well, maybe, me wanting this is bad, right? It's causing this problem, and so I guess that whenever I feel good, then, oh, I need to hide that, or I need to cover it up, or I'm just gonna feel shame about it, and yeah, the greed stuff, everyone loves it when I talk about greed, but I get so passionate about it because yes, any dieting creates greed, right? And so I will even catch it when women still don't think that they're doing it, and they're like, oh no, but like, well, I just eat the whole foods or whatever it is. And it's like, no, you're creating this greed of, oh look, I can disconnect from myself and just get all this stuff, right? I can obtain and consume and ultimately be distracted from the truth of me. How wonderful, right? And for you it was green beans, for me it was like watermelon, pineapple. I would have multiple, because it's like, oh, and as you said, it was like, well, then at the end, I'll just be so nauseously full, then I won't eat other things. And so then that gives me about 12 to 24 hours where I'll be too sick to eat. Like, obviously, that's the solution, right? And then I'll just keep that up daily. And I did for years, right? And rather than just remembering our innate perfection. And I'm curious as to how you were able to navigate moving through 1010, as speaking to someone who's maybe thinking like, okay, yeah, I think I might need this too, but I've got a lot going on, and I have kids, and I can't be doing separate meals, and I have to feed my husband and I feed my kids, and maybe not in your case because you've got a chef for a husband, but how did you balance everything, and is this doable for the average person, or do you feel like you really had to go out of your way to make it happen?
The easiest, the easiest. Guys, can I put this on? The easiest. Like, what do you mean? The busier you are, the better this works. I don't like,
Thank
what?
you.
What?
Thank
Like,
you.
what do you mean I don't have to meal prep? What do you mean I don't have to take out my scale? What do you mean I don't have to look at my fridge? What do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
We as a family, especially in the summer months, we eat out a lot. We do. We're out. The girls want to go to Wonderland and they want to go into the city. My girls are very bougie. They love to
Girls are expensive.
girls are
It sounds like.
expensive. Yeah. And I love all of it. And for so many years, especially after I graduated from nutrition school, I hid a part of that life, because I had to put on a little bit of a show that I was this organic Nancy. No shade to the Nancys out there, but I just had to put on this kind of no seed oils, and we only eat whole foods, and we eat whole foods too.
Yeah.
We eat all of it. We eat fries. We eat hot dog mystery meats. We eat all of it. And there's so much to be said around being busy and convenience, and also like the memories that we're making with our
Mhm.
kids. And, I might get canceled for that because I am a nutritionist. And I still pride myself on being a nutritionist, because what does that mean is so individual. What does that
Yeah.
mean to you, right? What does nutrition mean to you?
Yeah.
To me, it includes soul food, right? If I
Mm.
could bring my grandmother back, God rest in peace, I would
Mm.
devour another lasagna, another pizza
Mm.
made with Crisco, okay?
Yeah.
Because that is my childhood. She made the most delicious food. So I believe wholeheartedly in uh, having a full range of food that bring up these beautiful memories and nostalgia. But now I'm going on a tangent about what you had asked. Is it okay for the busy? Of course, yes. I
Yeah.
am a business owner, a mom, a wife. We have lots of stuff going on the daily,
Yeah.
and this has been the most freeing experience, truly. And my husband too. I mean, he used to cook me separate meals. Honestly, he used to cook me a completely separate meal, and he would help me with weighing out my proteins and my vegetables and all of that, and he did it always with a
Mhm.
smile on his face, and he never complained. And even now, he still kind of sometimes stutters. He's like, we're having like cutlets, like fried cutlets for dinner, are you okay with that? I'm like, oh, love cutlets, bring it on, like let's do it. So yeah, no, we're
Oh, Thank you for saying that because I always say, no, 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 this will open up time and space in your life. And that for me as well, I had to really recognize, well, how much time do I spend thinking about, food, what I shouldn't be eating? I mean, it consumed me. And so when women say like, "Oh, I don't really have time for this program," I'm sort of like, "Well, you don't have time to not do it." Or at least to not, whether it's my program or something else. It's like I think you don't have time to get over it. Like you need to get over it in order to get your time and your life back. So I guess too, because I could talk to you forever. You're such an incredible storyteller, and I think that we talk the same and have the same intonation in our voices. So I'm like, I'm just
Yeah.
picking up what you're putting down, girl. But for sort of a closing remark for someone who is feeling like, yeah, but that'll work for you, but it won't really work for me because blah. We always think that we're the exception to the rule, right? And we're, this magic unicorn that is forever broken or is just a little bit more gross and deranged than everyone else. What would you say to that woman who is sort of teeter-tottering whether or not she is able to actually change?
So, like I said before, you're no more special than I am, and you're not this magical unicorn. And for as long as you keep the excuses going, I don't want to be kind of cold around it. But if you're eating on a daily basis, you can do this program. I'm not going to lie, I would listen to the modules in my car
Mhm.
because I truly did not have the time to sit down. I mean, I love looking at your face and watching you, but I put it on in my car. I
Mhm.
listened and I listened to podcasts and I listened to all of the other material that's so beautifully weaved into the program. I listened to all of it in my car. I really did. So if you're using time as, or yeah, that you just don't have the capacity to do it, then I think that there's bigger fish to fry here. That there is some type of addiction to the busyness of your life that
Mhm.
and perhaps, yeah, maybe you're not ready, and
Yep.
that's totally fine. Um, but it's an excuse.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for saying that. And you're so right that some women just simply aren't ready. And I have now been doing this for so many years that the at the beginning of doing this, I would always be like, oh, like I'd try to convince women, not even for the sake of sales, but just for like, oh no, like I could tell that there was a part of them that wanted to change. And now I am so okay with just okay. Right. And I get it all the time when we're like, oh my God, I'm gonna get my sister to do your program. I'm gonna and at this point I'm like, don't. Right? It's it doesn't work. It doesn't work if you're not ready. And I think, sometimes I'll get DMs and one will be like, oh, I don't know, like, I'm thinking about doing a program, but do you think that this and that? And I'm so like, yeah, okay, like maybe it won't then, right? Like, because I know it will. But if you are coming in with this sort of like, oh, but here's why it won't, I'm like, okay, like then it won't. Like goodbye. Like I'm here for people that are ready to be like, oh yeah, like that obviously that will work, right? And there is a call it placebo or whatever, right? But there is a benefit to deciding that, you know what, I'm ready for this. And I know for myself, I was just such at a rock bottom place where I was like, you know what? I just want to be normal. And if that's the prize at the end, like sign me up.
Yeah.
And I think that, that's the energy that you need to go into it with. It's like, you know what? And I say it loads in the course, like, I don't want to be perfect. I just want to be me. I'm ready to be me. And with that intention, change happens so quickly because guess what? You're already you and you're already good. And so let's just drop into that and enjoy. Before we close off, I would like to just hear a little bit more about the work that you're doing now, because I know anyone who follows me will be obsessed with you too. And I don't think I did a great job of summarizing it. So if you want to just give your little spiel, and then I will definitely put all of your links in the show notes as well. Whenever I blow out my hair now, I have so many I get so many compliments. I can blow out anyone's hair. I was just away with my mom in Italy, actually, and every other day she'd be like, "Can you please blow out my hair?" And it's because I did your blow dry like a pro course that I'm like. She was like, "You can do this as a living," and I'm like, "Yeah, I won't be doing that as a living, but thank you, I know." So yes, take it away, girl.
Okay, so in a nutshell, my whole era around what I do, I'm a holistic hairstylist. So I essentially took everything that I kind of learned in nutrition school, everything I've learned behind the chair for the past 20 years, and I've married them together. And I have a wonderful online shop that is curated and very specifically hand selected products, if you
It's
will.
the only place now that I get all my hair products. And I love it because I love that it's just like, oh, it's like it's like almost like if Amazon was just curated and chic and elevated, and you can't get that shit on Amazon, by the way.
No.
And so everything, it's nice to shop in a store where you're like, oh, everything is actually good.
Yeah, yeah. And I wanted to really get efficacy, which I find so hard with natural hair care products because there are so many in like health food stores. But they didn't have the salon quality finish that I was looking for. So I scoured, and a lot of my products come from Europe, which I feel like is kind of the mecca when it comes to the hair and things like that. So I have this beautiful online store, and now I've just really branched out. And you've inspired me so much, Kiki, in doing more of these online programs, only because I feel like I can't reach everybody with my own two hands. And by creating something that women in Australia and Europe and in the US that I physically cannot see in my chair, I'm able to help them with styling, with hair loss has been so big. I see so much hair loss in my own salon and with women that are messaging me. And so I wanted to create a program, and that's the most recent program. It's called the density method, and it's just really helping women to realize what's causing their hair loss and how to help it. So
Mm.
I have a couple of programs, I have great products, and that's just the start. We're just gonna keep going with all of
Building the empire, baby.
have on my hands without worrying about what I'm going to eat. No, truly, I used to like make like myself a meal plan, and like truly I have so much more time on my hands. I even remember listening to one of the first podcasts that I listened from yours. I forget her name, but you had asked her this question. You're like, "Well, what are you doing with all your free time now?" And she said, "I made myself a millionaire." She grew her business. I mean, not so much, it's not so much about like the money, but I mean, like she really poured herself into her business. And I think that that's like really where I'm at right now. I really want to pour myself into my business, and I want to grow it, and I want to help more women. That's
Yeah.
where I'm at. I want to help women get the best hair. So
Yeah.
that's
Especially with hair, it is in that, not that I'm a hair expert in any way, but I would imagine it's in the consistency, right? And the every single day, right? And how you style it and how you don't style it, and what products you're using. So it really is one of those things where it's like, okay, yeah, no, I want you in my pocket daily versus, I do have the luxury of being in the same country as you, so I can get your paws on my locks. But ultimately we need to continue to learn from you and to implement these sorts of things daily. So highly recommend
thank you.
anything and everything, Elisa Kalela. Thank you so much for coming on here. And we didn't even say how much have you lost so far, because I'm cringe and I want to know the numbers.
I'm down 15 pounds. However, I must be more in inches because the pants I posted the other day, my pants are falling off, and I'm gonna start knocking on your door. Like, what are you doing here, girl? Like, yeah. So I've had to hold back on buying some more clothes because it's just it keeps on dropping.
Yeah, right. But you know what? There's no better feeling than buying smaller clothes, right? It's like I don't even care. I'm going to become poor and buy more clothes. So if that's the way I die, so be it. Thank you so much, lovely, and thanks everyone for listening. Obviously, if you are interested in joining my next group, all of the details are on my website. It's kikiathanis.com. Until next time, bye.